Hi, I'm Ed Post.
And I'm David McGranaghan,
We're from Jersey Boys,
and we're having tea with Wilma.
I came from a small town in the Midlands called Northampton. I went to Northampton College and did like a 2-year BTEC diploma in musical theatre there, and it was kind of by accident because I was working in a call centre at the time, and they were like, and I wanted to get a promotion. And they were like, "Well, you don't have any A levels, so you go back to college." And so I went back to college, but ended up doing this musical theatre thing. So, anyways, at the end of that 2 years, I went to drama school, and then that turned into I found my agent in the third year, and whatever. That was that. Sort of worked from then. So that's, I guess, where I've come from.
I'm originally from Scotland, of course. I went to a kind of performing arts high school up there, Dance School Scotland, which was brilliant. And then I went to Guildford and done a 3-year musical theatre course. And then after Guildford, actually a lot of my kind of stuff has been less musical theatre stuff, which is strange, just the way it's worked out. I've done the RSC and played the Donmar and that kind of stuff. I've just done Chariots of Fire, so it's very nice to come back to my musical theatre roots in this and sing and dance at the same time.
Jersey Boys is the story of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. It's a sort of chronological story of their career, I suppose, from just before they formed as the group that we all know, until sort of present day, I guess. I mean, their final monologues is meant to be as near as present as you can be, sort of thing. So it's and as well as their careers, it's all sort of little personal bits and interjections from each character, sort of giving their sort of version of how it all went down. It's split into 4 seasons, of course it is. So each character narrates one season throughout the show. So yeah, it's nice. You get a sort of rounded opinion of the same story between 4 different versions of the same thing. I played Bob Gaudio, who was the youngest member of the group, and he wrote a lot of their music. Certainly to start off with, he wrote sort of the first one was Sherry. No, it wasn't.
This is where it gets complicated.
So he wrote the first song of his that you hear in the show is Short Shorts, which is not actually a Four Seasons song, but that's his kind of introduction music, because he wrote this thing when he was 15 or something. 15, I think. And so you hear that, and then he sort of stumbles across this song, Sherry, and then that sort of it rolls into what we call the big 3 in the show, which is Sherry, Big Girls Don't Cry, and Walk Like a Man. In the first act, and they, he wrote all these things, and it's sort of he collaborates with Bob Crewe, who was the producer, and he's very much, and he's dubbed the genius. So he's like the guy that sort of has he's very at home with musical stuff and with business and all that sort of thing. He's brought up to do that. Tommy refers to him as a one-hit wonder with his eye on the buck when he's like 17 or something. So he's very much like, I've written this music, I'm the business guy. He's got his head screwed on.
I'm playing Nick Massey, who is in the band from the very start of the story, along with Tommy, who's one of the other 4 seasons. He is a very interesting, sometimes very internal. He doesn't actually say a lot at the start of the story. They describe him as a kind of harmony genius. He's very, very clever at arranging the harmonies. He actually couldn't read music or write down music. It was all through ear, which is quite fascinating. We know a little bit about music, but to do harmonies by ear, I could never even imagine. Mm-hmm. and he spent a lot of time in jail. They were in a lot of trouble, and I know that the time that they spent in jail was where they would learn skills, either hairdressing or instruments, learn how to play instruments. So him and Tommy, I think they've done about 8 years that I know of in the script, and then on and off for being up to mischief, and that's kind of how it all kind of started. And yeah, it goes with the band. He refers to himself as the Ringo of the band at the very end. He is very isolated. The two boys, Bob and Frankie, have a very strong partnership, and there's a lot of situations where he's very isolated from the group, and that's kind of shown a lot in the show, sometimes for comic value, which is good. So yeah, no, he's very interesting, and he passed away in 2000. So he was the only fourth season who wasn't alive throughout the whole process. So it's quite hard sometimes to find information on him compared to maybe some of the other guys, because they actually got to speak to, and they saw a lot of the scripts and were involved in the script. So yeah, so it's a bit about Nick, I guess. Yeah.
I want to see Book of Mormon. I actually was lucky enough to get tickets on Broadway to see it, and I absolutely loved it. And I'm really interested to see how it goes down here, because it was sort of similarly with like Rock of Ages. It's very different for like an American audience and a UK audience. So I'm interested to see if people freak out or absolutely love Book of Mormon. But yeah, we'll see. I'm excited to see that.
Something I really want to see, I guess, that's coming out is they're doing American Psycho. Rupert Gold's doing it at I think the Almeida. It's coming out this year. I think they've been workshopping it. I'd be really interested to see how that works. That would be cool. I suppose The Late Princess is coming up as well, Tori Amos, which will be really interesting. And yeah, Mormon, of course, if I can get a ticket, maybe in 2015. See what all the fuss is about.
Yeah. I had a bit of a nightmare doing West Side Story. I was understudy for Tony in the UK tour a few years ago, and I went on this one night, and there's this particular cue where you get those automated spotlights, like the sort of mechanical lights. My cue was to get on stage in time to be in this light, because it was going down stage, whether I was in it or not, like down the centre of stage, nobody else on stage, and I had to be in it. And one of the crew guys who was paging the curtain for me was chatting away, and I was talking to him, and then up comes my cue in the music, and I'm chatting away, and oh God! And I ran on stage, and the light had already started going down stage without me, so I had to sort of do that sort of awkward step into the and here I am. I was late, but I'm here. And then I sang the wrong verse of Tonight, which of course everybody knows the words to, especially those who go and see the show. So yeah, I sang the part that Maria sings earlier in the show, and then of course the bit that I was meant to be singing, like the next section, didn't work with what I'd just sung at all, and I just kind of
frustrating.
I clocked it halfway through and ended up sort of tonight. Like it was. Oh, it's dreadful.
It's tough.
Just feel your face fill up with blood.
It's the clock start turning, and you can feel your pulse get faster.
I just want to be swallowed by the ground.
Yeah, that's not easy.
Hideous. It's really awful.
Definitely come down and see the show. If you haven't seen the show before, you're in for a big treat, and if you have seen the show before, you're in for an even bigger treat, because you've got 2 new cast members. So it's a whole new show. We're just about to celebrate our 5th year anniversary, which is fantastic. So thanks for everyone coming along and supporting.
Yeah.
And you can pick up tickets on the website, jerseyboyslondon.com, or in the theatre, even just Ticketmaster or anything. So yeah, do come down. You'll definitely enjoy it.
Yeah, it'd be good to see you.